So nice to be governed by adults. This has got to be the first week when there hasn't been any sleaze, revelations of corruption, incidents of sexual predators in power. Wonder what could have changed. And to people who say politicians are all the same, I'll say this. The Tory supporting press will have been all over Labour during the election campaign, and the fact that nothing came to light speaks volume. Since taking power just over a week ago, they've scrapped the ridiculous and costly Rwanda scheme, scrapped the ban on onshore wind farms, put an end to new oil and gas fields, started talks with the junior doctors, and they're getting rid of hereditary peerages, where people get to be a part of the lawmaking process simply because a distant ancestor gave the king a blowjob. Speaking of which, let's hope there's a review of the peerages given by Boris Johnson to 29-year-old Charlotte Owen, who the press aren't allowed to mention, and to people who were filmed partying in Downing Street during Partygate. We've finally got people running things who actually know what they're talking about, rather than being friends with or going to the same school as the Prime Minister. Like James Timpson, who has a background employing ex-offenders working on prisons. Patrick Vallance, an actual scientist, as the Science Minister. Jess Phillips, who's campaigned against domestic abuse, appointed a minister with a brief covering that area. Angela Rayner, who grew up in social housing, working on housing. The list goes on. What a contrast to a finance secretary who didn't understand how interest rates worked, a culture secretary who wanted to get rid of Channel 4 but didn't realise it wasn't publicly owned, and a list of prime ministers who were only looking out for the best interests of themselves, their friends and their donors. A government whose aim is to serve the country, not themselves. Labour also plans to ban zero-hour contracts and fire and rehire, which any employer with an ounce of credibility would fully support. The icing on the cake will be the announcement that they're going after the VIP contracts from COVID. I'm not a Labour fanboy, and I'll call out and criticise them, but this is such a refreshing reset to our politics. The Tory party, as expected, are in the midst of a leadership battle between the few candidates left, which is a choice of a lesser of a number of evils. Ex-Veterans Minister Johnny Mercer could face jail time for refusing to give evidence to the Afghanistan inquiry. Jacob Rees-Mogg has even said they should invite Reform to join them. Would they be called the Reservatives or Conform? Either way, it's bad news for Britain. And talking of reform, Nigel Farage made his first speech in the House of Commons, using what is normally a chance to show a bit of unity between the parties as a chance to slag people off. What wasn't publicised was that he didn't have a seat because he turned up late, and Lib Dem MP Al Pinkerton was asked to move so he could sit in that place. On a side note, what an absolute waste of money that House of Commons ceremony was. Black rods, swords, breeches, fancy dress taking back hundreds of years, and dragging the Speaker to his seat. Come on, it's 2024, not 1724. You can hardly expect people to relate to this shit, and we look like a laughing stock abroad. Farage and Tice, joint owners of Reform Business, have got rid of Ben Habib. Tice has taken in place as a deputy leader with absolutely no say in the matter from people who paid their £25 membership. Farage is also due to start back on GB News, so that's even less time he'll be doing anything for his constituents in Clacton. Lee Anderson has been made Chief Whip of Reform, which is a bit pointless when they only have 5 MPs. Maybe his first job to be looking into the new Reform MP James McMurdoch, who, it's been revealed, served time for attacking an ex-girlfriend outside of a hub. Just the sort of person you want representing you, eh? Internationally, France has had the sense not to vote for Marine Le Pen's far-right party, yet. Russia has sunk to a new low by bombing a children's cancer hospital. Israel has continued their constant low of displacing Palestinians, destroying hospitals and killing civilians. And this morning, we woke up to find a gunman has attempted to assassinate Donald Trump in America. Trump, who instigated the Capitol riots in Washington on the 6th of January 2021, where 5 people died, and has constantly campaigned against gun controls, proving that irony isn't dead, even in the US. And people ask what I'd have to talk about now we got a new government. Well, this is a start, and it will help if you share and subscribe to the channel. And why not choose notifications while you're at it?